Hello, hello. My name is James Shield, and I think I'm live. Today is the day that I'm actually 7 years sober. Long journey, and now in this video, I wanted to talk about some of the books that I read kept me sober. Recommend some that I read. 4 books. And the first book is Annie Grace, who's very famous. And she wrote this book called This Naked Mind. You can buy or get in any library. Very full book that many read that. There's also Craig Beck, the so-called stop drinking guru on YouTube. He wrote this book called Alcohol Lied to Me. Both those books are pretty straightforward. Annie Grace is a smart person. That's a well-written book, but both books are pretty good. The one I bought in the initial couple of years was this book, and it was called, this is for female viewers, it was called The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober. Now this book came out in 2017. Yep, first published in Great Britain in 2017. And this is quite funny. It was from a female perspective. An author who was a journalist in London, and she got pissed up a lot and everything, and sort of escapades happened to her. But when she finished this book, she was 4 years sober. She was 4 years sober, and then decided to amazingly got published, but it was a real big success in 2017, 2018, 2019, and still people are reading it. And it's quite an entertaining book, especially when you're initially going sober for the first year or 2 years. But the one book that sticks in my mind the most was a book that was many years ago, and I've got I've got the contents of it, and I've got a abstract paper that was written about it. Now, this book was called The Psychology of Alcoholism. But here is the intro. It was written in 1907, right? And it basically, I mean, these new authors are absolutely brilliant, and they're absolutely brilliant in their own way, and come up with new information about alcohol when it does 2010 information. I find that's brilliant. But what struck me about this book that was written in 1907 was that it was very interesting because it actually explained in great detail what alcohol actually does to you, and all that knowledge about what alcohol actually does to you was known about in 1907. Now, there is no conspiracy. Okay, there is no conspiracy, but it's but it's interesting to see that all this knowledge was there in 1907, like over 100 years ago. And what's interesting is that a person who alive in the 2010s, i.e. me, read this book, and I, no, it did educate me actually. There were things in the book. I was suspecting it, but I hadn't read, a book to outline it in so much detail and tell me exactly what's going on. So it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because the book's written in 1907, and I'm supposed to be a person that's advanced 100 years later, supposed to know what's going on. And I'm reading a book written in 1907, and it's telling me stuff that I don't really know. I don't know. I suspect it, but I don't know the full picture about what's going on. And I just want to, I found it on the internet again. I just want to, a little paper about, first there was an abstract paper written about the book when it was published, and it says something like this. This was a little paper. It said, "The Psychology of Alcoholism, the Drink Problem in its Medico-Sociological Aspects." This was 1907 English. And just a little abstract was talking about the book. And Mr. Cutten writes lucidly and well. He has delved deeply in a somewhat dreary field of literature. All men know that alcohol, when taken in excess, is very injurious. That must be an 1907 word, and may be lethal. It has contributed much to the gaiety, but more to the gloom of nations. In the present work, many of the physical and apparently all the mental ill effects ever alleged by anyone as due to alcoholism are set forth in detail. And it goes on a bit more, and that's true. And I found the book again, and I can't. And I just want to. I've got to the contents pages here, and it's a fairly big book. It's well written, but it'll just give you an idea. But it really tells you exactly what's going on in 1907. So the chapter 1 is the introduction, a whole list of introduction. Chapter 2, physiology, relation of mind and brain, chemical affinity, and action of alcohol on the nervous system. All loads of different things. Chapter 3 is memory, the effect of alcohol on the memory. Memory fundamental, various disorders, memory brought about by alcohol, blah, blah, blah. Really, it's 1907 detail, but I mean, quite a lot of people still don't know this now. It's an amazing thing. Chapter 4, intellect, not including memory. So a massive chapter all about intelligence, intellect, and its effect on intelligence. The importance of the intellectual faculties, imagination. That was it. It said that the imaginative aspects of the brain were dulled more when alcohol was used, and that it was a bit of a trick. So it was all kind of known here: moral judgments, the alcohol, weak-minded, no initiative, lack of judgment, higher and lower intellectual faculties. Really in big. This is 1907. Real and big detail. Small doses at first heighten and quicken mental processes. Later effect is retarding. So they knew. Look, it's interesting. They knew all this then in 1907, right? So there's all that. And chapter 5 is the will. And the psychological willpower, its effect on the willpower of brain, order of decline regarding movement, influence of other faculties, again, lack of inhibition, control, impulse, fixed and insistent ideas, fixed and insistent ideas, go. In common 2010, 2020 speak, that would be rinse and repeat. In 1907 speak, it's fixed and insistent is. Okay. So, and you can easily read this book, by the way. There's about 1 or 2% are words that are now not known. So there's, but you can read it. It's not like in Middle English, not understanding. There's like it's 1907. You can pretty much understand it all. Lack of nourishment. Look at that. It's all known that the nourishment goes down. All in that. Fatigue, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then here we go. Chapter 6 was that chapter 6? Yeah. Well, the following chapter, emotions. Massive discussion on the effect of alcohol on the emotional system. Here we go. Emotional degeneration, influence of bodily health, description of alcoholic emotional states, suspicion, selfishness, loss of the higher emotions, all known in 1907. Fear absent in intoxication, emotional decline, all this stuff known. Unbelievable, isn't it? Influence of memory. Why joyous emotions of youth do not reappear with the sad ones. Emotional peculiarities have effect upon drinking. All here in 1907. Senses. Next chapter is senses. The next chapter is senses. So this is the effect of alcohol on the visual system, on the nervous system going from the eyes to the brain. This is 1907, all known about. Atrophy of the optic nerve and its terminations, change in the pupil, and effect on hearing as well. Hearing and smell and taste as well. All this in another chapter. Next chapter, morals. Morals. All analysing senses. Here we go. Senses, intellect. Morals is the next one. So, good and bad, moral equipment. Questions of the moral life of the alcoholic, the relation to physical emotions, and its effect on the moral outlook of. That's all in that chapter. And then the last chapter is named Insanity. Relation of insanity. Reciprocal. This is in 1907. 1907, repeat that. Change of personality. Intoxication, a severing of consciousness. And this is a good book. It actually says that intoxication, severing of consciousness. Periodic insanity. And then it goes into insanity, alcoholic paranoia, various spouse, various hallucinations, religious delusion. The final chapter of this book is called Religious Conversion Cure. So the of higher power that all in 1907. And then the final chapter is Hypnotism and the Cures. Not too sure about that, but that was obviously the that was the at the time in 1907. Maybe we've got progressed in that field slightly. Who knows? But that's a book I recommend. The full title is The Psychology of Alcoholism by George Barton Cutten. And those are all the contents that I have read out there, and it really is an in-depth study, and it really shows you that actually a lot of the knowledge regarding the effects of was actually known in 1907, and has therefore. So those are the 4 books. Good luck with your journey if you're about to. Can be done. It's a little close going back to Bridport, but it's okay. We're fine. I just had a Pepsi, so it is still 7 years sober, and so the journey still does continue, and we're now entering the 8th year sober. Totally sure about that. No problem. I'm still sober, and journey goes. Cheers.